Welcome to Sober October. As we kick off this month of intentional sobriety, let's bust some common myths about addiction and recovery. Whether you're thinking about quitting drinking, already on your journey, or just sober curious, understanding these myths can make all the difference in your recovery experience. Today, let's break down some myths around substance use disorder and how they can hold us back in our journey to thrive, whether you're aiming for a month of sobriety or a lifetime of change. By understanding these myths, we can not only deepen our recovery, but also offer support to others on their path. Before we dive into busting these myths, I want to introduce you to a concept that will guide our journey through recovery. It's called the Thrive Framework. Thrive stands for transform habits, respect, identify, value, and engage. It's a comprehensive approach to not just quitting alcohol, but creating fulfilling, balanced, and resilient sober living. Each part of Thrive helps us address a different aspect of our recovery, from shifting your mindset and building daily routines to identifying challenges and valuing your progress. As we break down each myth, I'll highlight how the Thrive framework can help you better understand and overcome these misconceptions, empowering you to not just survive sobriety, but to truly thrive in it. Myth number one: addiction is a choice, so it's your fault if you're addicted. Reality is that the first choice to use may be voluntary, but addiction is a complex brain disorder with physiological underpinnings. When someone has a predisposition, whether due to genetics, trauma, mental health, or early exposure, substances can trigger changes in the brain that aren't a matter of simple choice. Remember, it's not about fault. It's about taking back control and understanding that the craving is the disorder, not the person. The Thrive focus on this is T, transform your understanding. By shifting the perspective from fault to recovery, we empower ourselves to make lasting changes without shame. Myth number two: if you have enough willpower, you should be able to stop. Reality: willpower is often overrated when it comes to stopping a behavior rooted in brain chemistry and physiological response. In fact, early recovery is not about strength alone, but building sustainable habits that support systems that counter decision fatigue and ego deflation. The Thrive focus on this is H, for habits and routine. Creating healthy habits is more powerful than relying on willpower alone. Incorporate practices that build resilience and establish a daily routine to support your sobriety. Myth number three: addiction only affects certain types of people. The reality is, SUD affects people from all walks of life. It doesn't matter your age, gender, background, or status. High functioning professionals, executives, and family oriented individuals can all be impacted by addiction. It's not about where you come from, it's about how substances interact with your body and your brain. The Thrive focus for this myth is R. Respect your journey. Recognize that recovery looks different for everyone, and there's no one type of person who struggles with addiction. Myth number four: if you have a stable job and family life, you can't have an addiction. The reality is, many individuals with SUD are high functioning and high achieving and successful on the outside, but may be struggling privately. This misconception that addiction only hits rock bottom cases keeps people from recognizing the issue and seeking help. The Thrive focus for this myth is I, identify and address. Acknowledge the problem even if you don't fit the typical stereotype of rock bottom. Early identification leads to a quicker, more effective support. Myth number five: people have to hit rock bottom before they can get better. The reality is, waiting for rock bottom can be dangerous. SUD is a progressive condition, and the earlier you seek support, the more resources you'll have to access recovery. The Thrive focus on this myth is V, value your progress. No matter where you are in your journey, taking action now, whether you're at rock bottom or just feeling the first signs of a concern, that can lead to sustainable positive change. Myth number 6: treatment and stopping will solve everything. The reality of this is treatment is a crucial starting point for sobriety, but it's only the beginning. The brain needs time to heal, and new habits must replace old patterns to support a sober lifestyle long term. The Thrive focus on this myth is E: engage in holistic wellness. Recovery is more than just not drinking, it's about building a life that supports sobriety, including exercise, social connectedness, mindfulness, and treating any co occurring mental health issues. Myth number 7: relapse is inevitable, and chronic relapse means someone will never get it. Reality: relapse is part of the learning process for many. Rather than seeing it as a failure, view it as data, an opportunity to understand what led to the relapse and how to adjust. The Thrive focus for this myth is use relapse as a tool for growth. Every setback provides a chance to build a stronger foundation for recovery, reinforcing your journey towards thriving sober. Myth number 8: addiction is a lifelong struggle. Reality: the severity of SUD varies. While it's a disorder that requires management, thriving in recovery is possible with consistent effort, support, and self care. Myth number 9: people need to want it for treatment to work. The reality is, many individuals begin treatment because of external pressures from family, work, or the legal system. And that's okay. Motivation can build over time, and treatment can still be highly effective. The Thrive focus for this myth is remember that recovery is not a one size fit all journey. And it's okay to start where you are. Whether your motivation comes from within or from those around you, the key is to keep moving forward. So, in closing, um, as we move through Sober October, let's keep busting these myths together and build habits that help us thrive in sobriety. If you're ready to take that step or support someone else in doing that, just know you're not alone. This month is all about finding strength, building healthy habits, and creating a life you love without alcohol. Subscribe, follow, and join our Sober October journey to a healthy, happy